$3 trillion of government debt gone since 2021. Nobody voted on it, nobody paid it. It was not paid back, and it was not forgiven. It was erased by something you feel every week at the grocery store. And by the end of this, you'll see why it will never be allowed to stop. Here's the whole trick. A debt is a fixed number of dollars. Inflation makes every dollar worth less, so the debt gets lighter without anyone paying a cent. That's it. The shocking part is the scale. As of 2026, America owes over $37 trillion. There is no plan to pay it off. Old bonds come due, new ones are sold to cover them. Forever. Insane. Until you learn the only number they actually watch.
The game is not the debt. It's the ratio. The debt compared to the size of the whole economy. Grow the bottom of that fraction, and the debt stops mattering, even if it never shrinks. And America already ran this play once, at full size, 1946. America has just paid for a world war, and the debt is now bigger than everything the country makes in a year, 106% of the economy. Washington's official repayment plan? There isn't one. 28 years later, the debt had not been paid down at all. In dollars, it grew from about $240 billion to $340. But as a share of the economy, it collapsed from 106% to 23%. How?
No heroic payments. Just decades of growth plus steady inflation, quietly making the old debt small. The government never climbed down the mountain. It made the valley rise. But a rising valley buries someone. Somebody paid. Grandma's war bonds yielded 2.5%. In 1947 alone, prices rose 14%. Her real return, -10. Patriotic savings, quietly shaved. And that same haircut is still on the menu. In today's money, it looks like this. Lend the government $1,000 at 2%, while inflation runs 4%. A year later, you're handed $1,020, and they buy you $980 of stuff. $20, gone. Feels small. It isn't.
Multiply that $20 shave by every savings account, pension fund, and foreign bank holding treasuries. Trillions of lent-out dollars, each handing back a sliver of value every year. That's the eraser's fuel. Unless savers fight back. And they tried. When savers demand higher interest, a government can simply refuse. After the war, the Fed pinned bond yields near 2.5% for 9 years, while inflation ran double digits. On purpose. The polite name, financial repression. And it's still on the wall today. Why does the Fed target 2% inflation, not 0%? There are official reasons, but notice what 2% does. It halves any fixed debt's real value every 35 years. A slow leak nobody riots over. Then the leak became a flood.
2021. Inflation hit 7%, then 9%. Brutal for you. But on the government's old fixed-rate bonds, $3 trillion of real value erased in 3 years. The biggest quiet debt cut since the 40s. And you funded it twice. Once, as cash lost roughly a fifth of its buying power from 2021 to 2026. Again at tax time. Interest on savings is taxed as income, even when it lost to inflation. Taxed on money you never made. So is this on purpose? Honestly? No. There's no midnight meeting robbing your savings account. It's simpler and worse. Every other exit is political suicide. Cut spending? Voters hate it. Raise taxes? They hate that more. Or let inflation run a touch warm and say nothing. 2 doors lose elections. The third needs no vote at all. But the quiet door has a trap. There is a limit. Push too hard, and bond buyers revolt, demanding rates that outrun the trick. 1981, 20% interest just to buy back trust. The whole machine on one card. Borrow, inflate, roll it over, repeat. The debt never gets paid, it gets diluted. And the dilution is paid by every dollar that sits still. including yours, unless you move it, which is why every financial advisor's first rule is the same. Don't sit in cash. Own things. Homes, stocks, businesses, the stuff inflation lifts instead of melts. The people who run this machine invest accordingly. $3 trillion gone without a vote. It went to the world's biggest borrower, one shaved cent at a time. The debt didn't disappear. Your dollars did the paying.
If this changed how you see your savings account, the next machine is stranger. Who actually buys these bonds? And what happens when they stop? Subscribe so you don't miss it. Every number here has its source and math in the description.